not sure if I answered your question.
Well, I'm actually glad you went where you went, because I wanted to ask several people about kind of that very thing. I couldn't speak for anybody, but the sense that I have is that what brought people together in New York initially and other places was primarily an economics issue, or the issue of economics, the issue of corporate power, of corruption, of some of these political types of things. The direct democracy has brought out, I think, a lot of people who are very interested in or excited by that in itself. Is that driving the movement away from the original anger that brought people together, or is it part and parcel of giving people the voice? Or what's kind of happening in the movement as it morphs, in your opinion?
Right. I do agree with you that a large part of why many people came out is because of economics and the idea that profits should be put under people, which they haven't been. And I think one of the only ways that we can combat that is giving people their autonomy back and making them critical thinking, full human beings. And the way to do that is to not represent them in decision making, but to make them a part of it explicitly. So I don't know if it's moving away. I think that's just how it has to manifest itself in order to get things done that we need to get done.
So do you see as the system of representative democracy as fundamentally flawed, and that we ought to be moving to more of a direct democracy? Or do you see that direct democracy is the mechanism that this movement can use to have the impact it wants to have on the representative democracy?
I am against the representative republic that we have in this country right now, especially in the fact that we are trying to spread democracy to the world when we don't have one ourselves. And I would like to see more of I'm not saying that direct democracy can work for the United States, but I would like to see more of a direct democracy implemented in the United States. But I agree that it is direct democracy is how we can start to change things in the representative republic that we have right now.
Because you do get a sense that the people have lost their voice. Do you think that the message going out from Occupy Louisville and Occupy other places is one largely of the direct democracy at this point, or is it one of the corruption and the economics and things like that? What do you think most of the people here, what do you think they're most interested in communicating out? What are you most interested in communicating out?
I really I can't speak for anyone but myself, so I don't know. I would like to say that it's both, because no one in here, I haven't seen anyone put one above the other.
Okay.
And in order to get what we want done, both are completely necessary. But for myself, being an autonomous human being is over all else, so that is the only way we can combat the corruption and things of that nature, is making sure, having an individual responsibility as well as a responsibility as a society to make sure everyone's reaching their full capabilities as a human being and as a thinker.
To the degree that the movement ends up defined either by the people in the movement or by the media or by its detractors or supporters, either way, as a direct democracy movement, do you think that will find the resonance with the broader population that some of the initial concerns or or the underlying reasons for the direct democracy focus had with people, as far as getting other people into the streets or getting other people involved in the movement?
I'm not really sure on that. I don't know how. If I had to, just off my first thought, I would say it's the direct democracy is going to be something that's scary for most people. So it might cause them to hesitate about coming out or about fully supporting us. But I feel if you came down and you saw direct democracy in its true form, you would have a new respect for it, and that might spark some interest as far as being supportive of us in that direct democracy. And I don't want direct democracy to necessarily take on the message of all of Occupy, but again, that's how we have to behave in order to show that we are not doing the same exact thing that the system that we're fighting against is doing.
I see what you mean. Let me ask you one more question, and then I'll just give you an opportunity to say whatever you think needs to be said. I live out in the East End in a pretty suburban area. My neighbors, looking at whatever coverage has been here, would see primarily young people, primarily pretty educated, primarily and a lot of talk of some pretty sophisticated political concepts and things like that. And I think they might look on that and wonder whether they would be accepted into this community that might seem from the outside as a little bit insular. And I just want to ask about your feelings towards the broader public coming down to learn about you and join you.
I invite any and everyone to come down and learn about our process, to learn about me. I'm completely willing to share any information that I have about myself or about the process. I understand that might, that seeing that one demographic might steer people away. However, we do have a pretty wide range throughout the day of older to young people and across all demographics. So I would just say to maybe not look at what you're seeing in the media as much and come find out for yourself.
Would you say that the people that you've interacted with have been, overall very welcoming of people who are quite different, from themselves, and quite welcoming of the broader public coming down and asking some questions that they might think are pretty basic?
Definitely, yeah. There are things that we've already covered that somebody might come in and not understand that we have covered or something of that nature. I feel that we are very accepting of that. We try to inform without criticizing or without demeaning anyone, and I hope that we are being fully accepting of everyone that comes in, no matter if I can look at you or even talk to you and see how you're alike or different from me.
And so finally, just I asked you some things that interest me. Is there anything else that you would want to say to people about the movement or about the issues, or?
Not about the movement as much as empowering yourself, and this goes for every single person on this planet, and especially in this country. What I would like to say is gaining wisdom is not as much about finding knowledge as it is about losing the illusion, and there is a huge illusion built in our world, and we must start to question our world, and we must start to tear those illusions down in order to find what's real and why we're really here.
Great.
So I invite everyone to come out, no matter what topic you're interested in, and try to find out more about it and to share more about what you know.
Great. Well, Thank you very much.
You're welcome.